Hello everyone, and namaste to you all. All our families are here, all our partners are here. Almost everyone is here, including our investors and everyone. This is Anubhav, one of the co-founders of Baaz. Sabse pehle to thank you all for coming here today. It's a big day for us as we are going to launch India's most rugged and safest electric vehicle ecosystem out there. Baaz के बारे में थोड़ा बताऊं तो we are a product first company building this mobility platform, the electric ecosystem, specifically built for the gig delivery riders of India. That is going to maximize the in-hand incomes in the hands of these gig delivery riders. यार जब ने सोचा कि यार EVs बनाते हैं तो we thought consumers के लिए तो हर ही बंदा बना रहा है. So we thought उस बंदे के लिए बनाते हैं जिसका घर नहीं चल पा रहा है EVs की वजह से. मतलब EVs के बिना actually. तो हमने उसके लिए बनाना स्टार्ट किया and that is what Baaz does. If you are from around, you might have heard about Baaz. More likely not. We were working in silence by now. But I'm sure, in the next 45 minutes, Baaz is going to be a synonym for the most rugged and safest EV ecosystem out there in all of your minds. कुछ लोगों ने पूछा मुझसे, and I'm sure many of you must be wondering, why IIT Delhi? Like launches could happen anywhere, right? We have been to all the hotels and everywhere where launches happen, but why IIT Delhi? So the reason is a background. All of my co-founders, including me, have been, graduates from this very institute. We used to sit right here, just a few years back. Baaz was actually conceptualized here, and the most important of all, that zid of building kick-ass electric vehicles originated here only. That zid of building vehicles from India for the world. It all started when we led this wonderful team, Accelerator Formula Racing, or AFR as we call them. I'm sure you must have seen the beautiful Formula style car outside. We used to design these, build these, test, and then race out there with the other teams out there, and that too on a world championship level when we were in AFR. I'm sure exactly jitna excitement hai, I exactly cannot explain what Formula student is. So let's see this quick video so that we all can understand like what background we come from, as founders and more importantly as builders.
Fighting for bloodlust and a holy war. Listen up, hear the patriots shout. Times are changing. Do you believe that you can walk on water? Do you believe that you can win this fight tonight?
So this, what you just saw, is what our background is. We represented India in 2016, 2017, and then finally in 2019. That car out there that you just saw, it went to the World Championship of Formula Student Germany in 2019, led by my very capable co-founders. And together, we made history by being the first Indian team to have a car running on that prestigious Formula One circuit. There we not only got to know the know-how of how to build, world-class EVs, but we realized that we have actually built an A-grade team that could build electric vehicles in India. That too are kick-ass. And from there on, our dear juniors, they went on to take Formula Electric to the greater heights by recently winning in Formula student Italy. They made a big win there. So huge shout out to them. And we on the other side moved on to build Baaz. I'm sure there's big energy over here. So we started, when we started with building for the last mile micromobility market. Proved our expertise there, delivered on promises, and at that time, we were being recognized as one of the very few companies in India building purpose-built products. When we saw the COVID came, the onset of COVID, we started seeing a massive market that is growing exponentially. People out there started to order for deliveries more and more. A lot of people actually lost their jobs in COVID. So they switched to delivery jobs more and more. And everyone out there wanted to shift to EVs because of their own specific reasons. And that is where we found a sweet niche as this particular market. Needing something जो एकदम scratch से बनाया गया product हो. Because इनकी requirements अलग हैं, इनका use case अलग है, and we knew that our skills that we acquired from that building the Formula electric vehicles also puts us just at the right spot to build for this market. Another very big reason to get into this market was the impactful nature of the problem that we are solving with electric vehicles. When we are testing waters, actually, talking to the delivery workers, this is what we found.
पेट्रोल के दाम बहुत बढ़ रहे हैं, मेंटेनेंस भी काफ़ी ज़्यादा हो जाता है, काम तो बढ़ रहा है मगर बचत कुछ नहीं आती है।
साइकिल से काम करना बहुत ही मुश्किल लगता है। गर्मी बारिश धूप में जब काम करता हूँ तो और भी मुश्किल लगता है।
आजकल जो काम है वो फूड डिलीवरी में है, लेकिन उसके लिए भी कोई साधन है नहीं, और जितनी सेविंग्स थी वो कोरोना के चलते सारी ख़त्म हो गई है। साइकिल लेने तक के पैसे नहीं हैं।
So seeing this, we said, boss, ये तो change करना है. So we quickly launched our offering a year back in Saket with 50 odd delivery workers, who we now call the Bazigers. And in the last 15 months with our solution, we have not only been able to reduce, tons of carbon emissions from Delhi, but have also tested a platform for 1.4 million kilometers that we have ridden by now. Yeah, we know it's big. But what we consider as the biggest reward that we have got is the kind of an impact that we have created in the lives of these gig delivery workers. Let's hear from them.
मेंटेनेंस से निजात मिल गई है और बैटरी चार्ज करने की भी कोई टेंशन नहीं है हमें, और अब जो भी कमाते हैं वो हमारी जेब में आता है, हमें बहुत खुशी मिलती है।
डिलीवरी करने में बहुत ही आसानी है और मज़ा आ रहा है। गर्मी हो, धूप हो, बारिश हो, फ्लाईओवर हो, कहीं भी जाओ कोई दिक्कत नहीं है।
अब मेरे पास काम करने के लिए साधन है, मैं जिससे अच्छे से काम कर पा रहा हूँ, साथ में फैमिली के खर्चे भी पूरे कर पा रहा हूँ और अपनी सेविंग भी कर रहा हूँ मैं।
And these, ladies and gentlemen, are one of the very big reasons that, that is why we know we should continue building for this market. Doing this, बहुत सारी learnings आई, बहुत सारी चीजें समझ आई. We got to know how they deliver, what they do, what they want, and what exactly their problems are. And that is what we saw. So there are millions of gig delivery riders out there looking to switch to EVs. But the problem is, existing scooters that you all see out there are typically built around the consumers. They are still capex intensive, and the ones that are affordable are predominantly Chinese knockdown kits with no or very less local support. They're not suitable for the Indian infrastructure. हर 400-500 किलोमीटर के बाद में उनमें दिक्कतें आ रही है, उनकी सर्विसेज करानी पड़ रही है, मेंटेनेंस करानी पड़ रही है, and the worst part, they typically comes with 4 to 5 hours of charging downtime. कुछ तो they go still at 8 hours of charging downtime as well. But one of the very surprising things that we realized is that these guys, they do not want the cheapest solution. They want something, that can maximize their incomes. उनको नहीं चाहिए सस्ता स्कूटर, उनको वो चाहिए जिससे वो ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा पैसा कमा सकते हैं. Now what that means is, if the solution is even cheapest out there, if it's requiring maintenance every 400-500 kilometers, they cannot do deliveries, which basically affects their income. If it's consuming their 4 to 5 hours in charging, they again cannot do deliveries in that time. that again reduces their incomes. If it's unreliable, it's breaking down very frequently, again, they're not going to do delivery on that, and that is why it reduces their incomes. And that, what you see there, is definitely something that they do not want. They want something that is rugged, reliable, affordable, and quick to charge. Nothing more, nothing less. We looked around the entire world from China to Taiwan to even Germany, but we couldn't really find anything that satisfied all these 4 points. कोई rugged था तो quick to charge नहीं था, कोई quick to charge था तो affordable नहीं था, and that is where we thought, boss, एक भी नहीं मिला ना, तो the problem can't be solved. And that the problem was, to put in all these things in just one ecosystem, and that too being in the affordability range. So 4 things, everyone: rugged, reliable, affordable, and quick to charge. And this is exactly what we have built. With this, ladies and gentlemen, based on all the learnings for the last 15 months and over 1.4 million kilometers, we have now created the next generation of Baaz ecosystem. That is not only going to change the lives of the delivery workers out there, but is also going to be a significant force behind setting up the necessary EV infrastructure that this country demands. And without further delay, let me reveal the first part of the ecosystem, the Baaz. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, let's call on stage the Baaz. You see this little beauty out here? ऐसा नहीं है सिर्फ दिखने में मजबूत है. We call it the strongest level Baaz. Now this is built, to survive in the toughest of the infrastructure out there. Those potholes, off-roading, riding for like 100 kilometers a day without hurting your back is literally like a cakewalk for this particular thing. This is built to survive all the possible vandalism that will be done on these bikes. And the best part, this is smart and intelligent, which makes sure that Baaz does not go down. And even if it's sometimes, something can happen sometimes, you don't need to worry. We'll know it before. You'll even feel it. That is how smart it is. But when we were building this, we realized that just building the most rugged scooter won't solve all the problems. We had to make this, the scooter super compatible with its heart, the batteries. Now, when we looked out to multiple vendors out there, the batteries in the existing market, either they were like super expensive, as we all know, or they were just not designed and built well. Hence, super unsafe and I'll say not reliable. And that's where we realized, we like 25, 26 year aged people, like with like huge following for Iron Man, we thought, if Tony Stark could build a heart for his own, for himself, why can't we build a heart for our own ecosystem? And that's where we built the modular battery pack that powers Baaz, that we call the Baaz Energy Pods. Presenting to you the Baaz Energy Pods right from here. Now this little thing out there is a lithium-ion based modular battery pack, which is super smart and measures all the battery data hundreds of times in a second. You heard that right, hundreds of times in a second. The battery management system, or the BMS as they call, is again in-house designed with the best-in-class firmware that ensures the safety of the rider. So यार rugged scooter आ गया, the safe and reliable batteries आ गई, अब क्या? Imagine all of you, just imagine. तुमने एक बहुत ही सही, combustion गाड़ी खरीदी है, but जहाँ तुम रहते हो, you don't have any, petrol pumps out there. What will you do? क्या करोगे उस गाड़ी का? So in our case also, when we looked out, what we'll do with this. So we thought what's missing is a robust energy network, a network smart and reliable enough to ensure that Baaz is always up and running in any extreme conditions out there. A network that could charge Baaz, very quickly. Like what I mean by very quickly is like super quick. Now, when we ask the Baazigars out there, on how quick they want their batteries to be charged, I must say they're super ambitious people, I must say that. So when we ask them, even 60 minutes, 40 minutes, 30 minutes, and even 15 minutes were out of the picture. So here we have for you all the Baaz Swap Network, an automated made-in-India swapping network that makes the concept of range per charge an old school term. As whenever your batteries are in the low range, you just go to the stations, snap your discharged batteries with the fully charged ones in less than 90 seconds. And that's where we have for you all the Baaz Swap. So this here, what you see, is a building block of the Baaz Swap network that is going to solve the range anxiety associated around EVs. And with some of the very proprietary technology around charging and cooling that we have built inside, we have developed, and it's going to ensure that, Baaz is going to stay up in all the possible conditions out there. And the Baaz energy pods will survive all the possible terrains and all the possible extreme temperatures across India. What that means, चाहे धूप हो, बारिश हो, ठंड हो, तूफान आए, this thing is built to last, both from outside and from inside as well. So this little building block, will be placed at multiple locations. Our riders will come, put in their discharged batteries, pace the amount of the kilometer that they have driven, and take out the fully charged batteries in a matter of just seconds from this particular station, ladies and gentlemen. So, but as I said, abhi sab aa gaya. Now, what exactly will we do? So, as I said, our focus right now is on the gig delivery market. We want to give a reliable solution to the gig delivery riders of India. And they needed 4 things, right? Rugged, reliable, affordable, and quick to charge. We have already seen the rugged and the reliable and the quick to charge part. But what about affordability? This is where comes the Baaz operations. The product is already designed keeping the affordability factor in mind. But we took a step further. We separated the batteries and the scooters in the price equation. Now, when we do that, cost of the batteries don't come in the picture. Now, but what happens with that, we're able to sell these scooters to our rental partners for as low as just 35,000 rupees. Satisfied yet? Well, I'm not. We took a step further more. These rental partners rents out the bikes to the delivery workers, further reducing the capex burden on these delivery workers. तो basically खरीदने की भी जरूरत नहीं है. You can just take it on rent from our rental partners. Some of them are actually here today as well. So a big round of applause for them. Now, you know, the best part of the affordability comes in the Baaz swap network, where we let our riders swap from our network and pay us on a per kilometer basis in the delivery segment. You know, in the delivery segment, it's a rule of thumb कि मतलब तुम जितना कमाओगे, तुम actually उतना ही ज़्यादा कमाओगे. So if you look at it from an angle, what that means is they can actually pay as they earn, which is more like a made for each other kind of a model for them. Now to run all this, we could easily make this operations, you know, super human intensive, जो हम कर भी रहे थे अभी तक. But we are engineers, so we created the Baaz software suite. That comprises of the Bazigar app for the delivery riders, where they can book the bikes, pay the swap amount, you know, swap the batteries, and do everything that they need for delivering out there smoothly. Apart from that, there's Baaz View. That is a fleet management tool for our vehicle partners and other supporting apps to run the operations smoothly. And together with all this hardware and the software is what we call the Baaz ecosystem. So बताने के लिए इतना ही था. ठीक है, as we told you all, and I'm sure you must have received all the invites, we told you it won't be like any other launch event where we'll just tell. Like ये तो सभी कर रहे थे, right? Telling about their products, what it can do, what it cannot. We thought, you know, go a step further. We're going to show you live exactly how this all works. How is it all different, and what do we mean when we say that it's India's most rugged and safest electric vehicle ecosystem out there. So everyone, I'll say again, just warm up your seats because it's the show time now. Let's go one by one, right? So first, let's see, you know, how this all works in harmony. I'm sure यार जितने लोग बैठे हैं उन्होंने ऑटोमेटेड स्वैपिंग के बारे में पढ़ा होगा, मे बी वीडियोस में देखा होगा, क्योंकि इंडिया में अभी बहुत जगह होती नहीं है. तो आई एम श्योर, वेरी श्योर कि बहुत ही कम लोगों ने देखी होगी. एंड इवन इफ समवन ऑफ यू you know seen it earlier, you're gonna see like how is it like levels better than what you have already seen. So जिन लोगों ने नहीं देखी है, well, congratulations, because you're about to. For that, let me quickly call on stage one of our biggest supporter, Ravi, from Kalari, to show live, you know, how this all works, and in a way be the first ones to experience what we have just built. Remember, I told you just 90 seconds, right? Batteries here. Take it out. Top it up. The scooter is fully charged. Ravi, we would really love if you can say something, you know, for all our guests over here. You have been associated with us for a very long time now.
No, there are people sitting next to me who have been associated with you, or your professors have been associated.
Of course.
Awesome founders. यार मैं इंजीनियर हूँ, but उतना अच्छा इंजीनियर नहीं हूँ. Practicing engineer, अभी भी चीज़ें बनाता हूँ, right? But you know ये नहीं बना सकता. But thank you. Thank you for doing this, all of you guys. Thank you for doing this, and thank you for the customers, for our customers who have come over here. I don't know what else to say. You know, this is a yagna. ये $100 billion का 5 से 7 साल का यज्ञ है. $100 billion की इकोनॉमी होने वाली है. इंडिया का नाम यहीं से होगा. तो अब देखते हैं आप लोग कितना मार्केट बड़ा बना सकते हैं और कितना कंट्रीब्यूट कर सकते हैं. But look, thank you all for doing this. And thank you to our customers, the gig workers, जो हम लोगों के साथ में रहे हैं और जो हमेशा हमारे साथ में रहेंगे. आपके लिए है, आप इसको बढ़ाइए और देखते हैं कहाँ तक जाते हैं.
Indeed.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ravi. But picture अभी बाकी है. So thanks, Ravi. Well, now let's get to the next part. How is it all different? Like, right? When I say, like, we'll tell you exactly how this all works, how is it all different, and what is so unique about it. So this ecosystem, as I already mentioned, is built and designed for the most rugged use case out there. Now, what do you mean by most rugged, right? Like, we typical as consumers, go for 15, 20 kilometers in a day. These guys, the delivery riders or Bazigars as we call them, they goes for 100, 150 to 100 kilometers a day. They do off-roading, they face vandalism and whatnot. Their requirements are different, their needs are unique, and they don't want fancy features. They need something, which are a must-have, and which basically, let them do their jobs without hurting their back. So definitely Baaz has almost all the basic features that they need, like, a safe and reliable battery, suspensions, indicators, seats, and everything that almost everyone in this price range category of scooters provides. Well, let me correct that. With what we did with the battery swap network and the batteries, reducing the capex of the scooter, actually no one provides a scooter in that price category. Still, let's see how it's different from the closest ones. So who has seen those bars to show charge left in the range of the electric scooters? It's almost everywhere in all the electric scooters in this category. Well, not us. Come on, it's an automobile. It's a technology product. So we exactly show how much kilometers more are left to go. Most of the existing products in this category, comes with a additional payload of 50, 70 kgs. We, on the other hand, I don't think I need to talk about that. You already see how the scooter arrived here, right? None of the existing products in this range comes with a smart swap network that's going to swap their batteries in just 90 seconds. And one of the most important that actually took us, months and months of development is something which is definitely something that you all will relate to. So, कितने लोगों ने electric scooters चलाया, and you see that when you have a full range in your electric scooter, the performance is great. But when your range is about to come to around 5%, 10%, the performance is just non-existing. Well, honestly, we also had this issue in our last generation of bikes, and almost every product out there in this category has it. Well, we chose to eliminate it. We have built an algorithm in this, which is, again, a PID-based algorithm, heavily technological and everything, but doesn't matter. You have 60 kilometers of range left, or you have just 5 kilometers of range left. The performance is not going to change. It's going to remain almost the same. That's what, ladies and gentlemen, is what makes this product different despite being existing in the affordability class of range of scooters. Exciting? Well, it's not just some promises in the air that we are dropping, right? We have tested each and everything that we have just said. Though it wasn't mandatory for our class of scooters to do some tests, but we still took a step forward and did every possible safety test out there. And that too as per the AIS 156 standards. Whether it be the drop test, where you drop the batteries from 1 meter height multiple times in different phases and angles, still a battery survived. Whether it be the fire test, where you keep the batteries in burning fire and still the batteries had to survive, and are still did that. Whether it be the shock test or the waterproof test, whatever the test existing out there, our batteries survive each and every time. And that is how we say that it's the most rugged and safest EV ecosystem out there. Apart from that, we've also done a big part of the endurance testing as well. Now, we've also tested scooters and swap stations in some extreme conditions in addition to the recommended test to test their integrity and robustness. And with the experience of going for more than 1 million kilometers, as I already mentioned, is what makes me believe that this Baaz ecosystem is going to emerge as one of the biggest energy infrastructure in this country. Well, seems like some of you still don't believe me, right? Well, let's try their integrity over here itself. What say? Let's change the way how product launches happen. Let's set a different bar for the standards. Battery se start karte hain, right? So you don't need to plug in those connectors with hand, as you already saw. You don't need to plug in those connectors with hand. It basically sits in the battery compartment whenever or however you basically drop it. Also, you don't need to remember what phases it will go in. It just goes in from any phase that you need to put it in, and the scooter still works. Right, good one. Apart from that, what I'm going to show next, I'm not saying do it like this every time, but even when sometimes we all are humans, it happens, even when sometimes you accidentally drops it, well, don't worry, we have got you covered. Well, as you all know, I'm not doing it for the first time, well, obviously, right? The battery has been tested like this for like thousands of times, and definitely it does some wear and tear on the product, but otherwise it's super safe. So that was about the battery, right? Let's try something else. When I said these scooters are meant for the rugged use case, they do off-roading, they can be subjected to vandalism, and when you ride them for almost 120 kilometers a day, you don't need what's going to come and hit you from where. You sometimes don't know for how many of you this exactly is a common sight, especially with the gig delivery riders. The bikes are super vandalized in these conditions. As I said, when I was saying it can take all the vandalism possible out there, I was not joking. It's all steel enclosure, as you can see. It's going to protect everything and anything that is inside, that basically controls and manages the smart ecosystem. Let's try if that's true, because that is what at least my team has told me. Let's see what Baaz can survive. For that, let me invite someone on stage. Okay, so we have Kaushik. So guys, so what do you think? What do you think is the most fragile component in a scooter? What do you guys think? Lights? Indicators. Wow. So a couple of things we are very sure, right? Tires are not the most fragile components out there. Are we sure on that part? Right. What do you say, mud guards? No? Well, Radhesh said lights, right? How about we test it? Should we? Okay. So on a count of 3, you all will say the 3, 2, 1 to me, with me, yeah? So on a count of 3, Kaushik, let's see if this survives. So ladies and gentlemen, all will say with me. You'll say the 1, I'll say the 3 and 2. 3, 2, 1. Oops, nothing happened. That is what the rugged part says. What next? What next? So Radhesh, what next? What do you suggest? Front lights. Okay, let's try on the front lights also. Well, what? You can try on the front light, it's fine. You can do the countdown and everything else. We know that it's going to survive. You can try it out. Oh, nothing happened. How about the display? Right? When we said like we are showing the exact kilometers of range the product will give. So it comes with some plastic parts, right? But again, we have designed and integrated them so well that it can take all the vandalism out there as well. So ladies and gentlemen, on a count of 3 again. 3, 2, and 1. It's still out here. How about let's test the strength of this thing, right? Let's test the strength. Are you ready? Are you ready with the power? Yeah. Okay. So now let's check the strength, should we? So on a count of 3, 2, and 1, let's see how this thing works. You want me to put it in? I thought there was a countdown. Oh, okay. He wants a countdown, guys. Let's give him a countdown. 3, 2, 1. What happened? It's actually better for us that we don't make these bats, right? Now, sab dikha chuke hum. Everything we have already shown, what exactly works and what is with the scooter. We have already shown this. But you must be wondering, what exactly is this particular box is, right? Well, how many of you have faced this and seen this on roads? Have you? Where you go in the waterlogged or the waterlogged roads and your combustion bikes just stops out there. The engine stops. What do you all think will happen to Baaz, right? It's an electric scooter. Can it go underwater? Will the batteries survive in that condition as well? Or what if the batteries will just catch fire if they get submerged? What do you think? Right. So this box right here, this is basically a proof of our promises. This is what shows that when you can dare to pull off so many things live, what exactly you can do when you have designed it in-house. This again reinforces our promises that Baaz is still, again, the most rugged and safest EV ecosystem out there. Ready? Remember, it's been here for a very long time. Can we have some music, please? Remember, it's here for a very long time since we are sitting here. Fine. So with this, let me show you what's inside this. So this is what we call the confidence level Baaz. Satisfied yet? Well, I'm not. Because, I always used to think, like, what if, people just used to put in empty shells in there? What if? What if we also have tried to pull off something like that only? So let's keep that also out of the picture. And that is how you launch a Baaz. So that is what, ladies and gentlemen, is what we call an automobile grade product. So everyone, that is all what we have achieved by now. It's time to make some promises. We are not that company who launched today and deploy years later. We are Baaz, right? We took a fair share of time to launch this today. We are not going to take long to start deploying these bikes on road. As we speak today, most of my team is preparing to start producing these products at scale. Here is how. that is a promise, ladies and gentlemen, that in just the next 45 days, you're going to see Baaz getting on the streets of Delhi. You're going to see that. And in just the next 8 months, you're going to see the entire Delhi being blanketed by the Baaz ecosystem. That again, India's most rugged and safest EV ecosystem out there. So what we said in the start, right? What we said in the start, that in just 45 minutes, Baaz is going to be a synonym for something. I hope we kept our promise. We have basically kept a reserve. We have basically kept a demo area for all of you outside. We have managed to get the demos. We'll be giving demos to all of you out there. For the first 15 minutes, we have basically reserved for our special guests and our partners. Post that, we would love to give you all a demo of the Baaz ecosystem. You can take pictures, take videos, post about it on social media, but just remember, tag us, #Baazigars Assemble. So thank you for coming here today and making this event a grand success, guys. With this, I would like to thank our partners, our friends, our professors, Alumni Association. They helped us to set it all up. And a big thank you to the entire team at Baaz. My co-founders, my leaders, and everyone for making this event a success and organize this event today at such a big scale. I would like to invite my entire team over here, please. So this is the team that builds Baaz, ladies and gentlemen. This is the team. Woohoo! Thanks everyone for being here today. We all will proceed to the demo areas where we'll show you exactly what Ravi just observed. So we want to give that experience to every one of you out here. So we'll meet you there in just 2 minutes. And thank you again.